Hey there, all you weather geeks. It is Monday. It's Weather for Weather Geeks time, and what a severe weather outbreak we have ongoing, of course, not locally, but out to our south and west. Check out the weather map this afternoon. Big time low pressure system moving through the state of Missouri right now with a cold front attached to it, and look at the lineup of severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings with this. Let me take off some of the information here so this is a little easier to see. I'll actually even take off the radar just so you can see the watches and warnings. Red boxes, those are tornado watches, and then the individual polygons here in the red, those are tornado warnings. The yellowish boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings. So everywhere along that massive squall line, every single county pretty much is under some type of warning, from Louisiana up right along the Mississippi River and up to about St. Louis this afternoon. So that is a whopper of a system out there. Very strong low pressure system. You can easily, of course, pick it out when I throw in the isobars, the lines of equal pressure here. What we also have going on this afternoon is a warm front extending from that low and heading over into our region. And it's a pretty warm and actually somewhat humid day locally. Let's talk about our local weather. As we zoom into eastern Ohio and western PA, we had a couple of showers earlier. Those have since pretty much faded away. Let me bring up the dew points first because, hey, the dew point's 60 here in mid-October. That's pretty high. You step out today and it feels sort of muggy out, which is pretty remarkable considering it was 27, 28 degrees in some backyards yesterday morning. The showers along the leading edge of this warm and humid air off to the north and the east. As far as temperatures go here as we get into the 2 o'clock hour, we're approaching 70 around Youngstown. They're in the lower 70s in Columbus, mid-70s down in Cincinnati. So big temperature contrast on either side of this boundary. Let me take off the radar here, show you the temperatures. Yeah, it's in the 50s out here on the backside of this system. It's warming up into the 70s, so a classic mid-latitude cyclone here moving through the middle of the country, causing all sorts of interesting weather this afternoon. But of course, we want to focus on our weather here in the WFMJ viewing area as we get into tonight and tomorrow. First things first, let's bring up the HRR, the High Resolution Rapid Refresh, and this will take us through most of tonight. Simulated radar product here. Now, this model tends to be a little overdone in the short term with the coverage and intensity of showers. Notice it thinks the radar right now at 2 o'clock looks like this. Actually, this isn't the latest version. Let me bring up the latest version, and that may actually help us out here. It thinks the radar looks like this, which, isn't bad, but it is a little overdone with the amount of showers that are actually out there. So, again, keep that in mind as we roll forward here, that this may, show more than actually probably will happen. It's just a weakness, a known bias of the model. All computer models have these known weaknesses or biases, and our job is to interpret them and work with them and decide which ones have a better chance of being right and which ones have a better chance of being wrong. Here's the HRR model at 4 o'clock showing a band of showers down in southeast Ohio. Roll forward a couple of hours here to 6 o'clock right before sunset this evening. We might, if this has the right idea, have a quick shower around this time. Now, again, it's probably in reality not going to be as many as is shown on this map, but there could be a shower here and there. So after school, after work activities, most of the time is going to be dry, but some places are going to get a shower. Once we get past sunset this evening, I don't think much is going to happen for the rest of the night tonight as that warm front continues lifting well off to the north and east. So here's the simulated radar at 9 this evening, 10 o'clock. Yeah, not much is going on. Now things definitely get a little more interesting tomorrow. Let's start this off where we left off on the HRR. Middle of the night tonight, check out that massive squall line extending from Illinois down into Mississippi and Louisiana. This is middle of the night tonight, still chugging along. Here right before daybreak tomorrow, let's skip ahead to, this will be 5 o'clock, so a couple of hours before sunrise. That main line of showers and storms from Indiana back through Kentucky, Tennessee, into parts of Alabama, even extending over into Georgia. But we are dry in northeast Ohio and western PA at the start of the day tomorrow. Skipping ahead to midday, and I think we're still dry at this point, but that line continues to, move east. That main line of showers and storms will probably never produce severe weather here, but it will, of course, impact us with some rain eventually, but it's going to take its time. This is 4 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. It's still not here yet, so, during the daylight hours tomorrow, it's going to be pretty nice out. I mean, we're going to get well into the 70s tomorrow. There's going to be a gusty wind, and I do think there'll be some intervals of sunshine tomorrow. So actually a pretty nice day. This thing is slow enough that the main thrust of showers and maybe some thunder will wait until after sunset tomorrow. This is 8 o'clock in the evening. It's still not here yet. So, I think this will get here about 10, 11, midnight tomorrow night heading into Wednesday morning. So if you have outdoor plans tomorrow, most of the day is going to be pretty good. This is the Storm Prediction Center Severe weather outlook for tomorrow and tomorrow night. Notice it has the elevated risk up to about the Ohio River, but does not get into eastern Ohio and western PA. Conditions just aren't as good here as they will be off to the south. So, yeah, they'll be dealing with some hail, some damaging winds, perhaps even a few spin-up tornadoes tomorrow, much farther east than today's activity. So Atlanta, Columbia, maybe Charlotte towards the end of the day tomorrow. Places like that will get in on some, possibly severe weather. Now, this system is going to really put on the brakes as it comes east. This is Wednesday morning. I think at this point that main line of showers and storms is either crossing the area, has already crossed the area and pushing east. A little bit of a dry slot here, but that dry slot will probably fill in Wednesday afternoon later, as this upper low meanders across Ohio. I think there'll be some residual showers on Wednesday. Not many, but they'll be, here and there speckled all over the radar, especially in the afternoon. And the same idea holds for Thursday. This upper level low pressure system continues to drift over us. And while Thursday is not a washout, I do think there'll be a shower here and there, kind of like on Wednesday. Neither day is a rainy day, but we're going to have to watch out for those spotty showers. And one thing for sure, it's going to be cooler starting on Wednesday. We're going to say goodbye to the upper 70s. Finally, by Friday, this system is pretty much out of our hair. Clouds should break for some sun eventually on Friday. It may take a while, but we should see a little sun by the end of the day. Friday, looking dry for high school football this week, at least, it's only Monday, but, things are looking pretty optimistic at this point. As we head into the weekend, some modeling brings in a decent front this weekend. The GFS, which I'm showing you here, does not have much of a front, so, confidence not real high in the weekend forecast. But in the longer range, here on the 16-day temperature trends on the GFS ensemble, notice here's our warm-up next couple of days. Here's Wednesday, and then after that, it's not a cold pattern, but overall probably a fairly below average pattern, taking us almost to the end of the month. We might start to turn the corner and trend upwards the last several days of October, but almost to the end of the month, we're going to get into a pattern that's going to favor more cooler than average days than warmer than average days. Now, keep in mind, of course, late October, our averages are dropping very quickly, and by the end of the month, our average is pretty close to 60. Even upper 50s in some spots. So a 56-degree day in late October isn't very far from average. But, the overall idea is once we get through the next couple of warm days, more cool days than not, heading into the middle and latter portions of October. Thank you for watching the Monday Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you Tuesday afternoon, and you can check out my forecast live tonight on 21 News at 6 and 11, and always on your WFMJ mobile app. We post all our videos and our forecasts on your app. So if you haven't downloaded that, do that today.